He wants to show us. Look at this. Oh yeah, look at that. This is the magic being made. This is the magic being made, guys. This is how they do it right here. Oh, Lindor. Shukran bazaf. Shukran bazaf.
Even the British, I think, would tip here.
Yeah.
And typically for me, what I do, if the coffee costs about 7-8 dirham, you just round it up to 10 dirham.
Round it to the nearest 10 or 5.
كنت فيديو معي
باه
كنت دير فيديو دابا
لا
اليوتيوب مزيان
مزيان
اوكي سو سلام يوتيوب
سلام يوتيوب
Okay,
God is
صافي.
win, God is win.
Assalamu alaikum, bonjour, greetings. Koya. Allah yahfadek. لباس عليك. بس مزيان. He's the brigade who fixes shoes around here. Yeah, he actually fixed a pair of shoes. I bought some hiking boots and he fixed them. They fixed them right up. I bought them, they were separated. He fixed them. Jadi. Mizyan. Yes. Lafta koya. Shukran bazaf. And today I'm going to talk about, there's something about, I can't think.
Without
I can't
the cover
think.
in your
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome to the randomness of my channel. So today's video, I'm going to talk to you all about coffee shops and the coffee shop etiquette and a little bit about how to ask for these coffees in the local language. Now, while coffee shops have not always been a part of the Moroccan culture, in fact, they were not even brought into this country until the French colonization. But for decades, it has been an absolute staple in this culture. I happen to love Morocco because of this cafe culture. I love the way they're set up. I love the vibe. It's just an amazing, amazing experience. And if you can find you a good coffee shop while you're visiting Morocco, or you have moved to Morocco, I definitely recommend that you find a coffee shop that you just love. And I have found one of those. And today we're going to sit and talk about all the coffees and how to ask for them, and a couple little nuances about what to expect and some other things about the coffee shops. All right, guys, let's go.
Do you want me to hold it?
بريد ندير فيديو كنت دير فيديو معي
باه
كنت دير فيديو دابا
لا
اليوتيوب مزيان
مزيان
اوكي سلام يوتيوب
سلام يوتيوب
Okay,
God is
صافي.
win, God is win.
Yeah,
God
God
is
is
win.
اوكي
Tell is we.
هذا كبير
وي
انت ها Yeah.
كبير
انت مو كافيه ياك Okay, so this is the guy right here who's the malam. هذا الغراني هذا الغراني he was brigade Mustafa صاحبي Hey, Gary. Oh, and this is Gary Sullivan. We'll get to him in a second, but in the meantime, this is Mustafa. Wasabi. Yes, they call me Tariq. They've given me a Muslim name already. They said, what would you like to be called if you were to convert? And I said Tariq, because I'm a visitor, I'm a traveler. It's beautiful, and it's close to my name.
Client.
Yes.
Client.
Yes. Client. Yes.
Vive. Vive les États-Unis. Vive les États-Unis.
Oh yes.
Vive les États-Unis.
Je ne parle pas français.
Vive les États-Unis.
Yes.
Yeah.
So his brother is my neighbor, so he's not just some random guy wanting in the picture. Humti. Mustafa. Kider. Inglosu tama afa. Inglosu tama.
شنو نصيب ليك؟ شنو نصيب ليك؟
ما عرفش دابا.
شمن قهوة نصوب قهوة؟
ما عرفش دابا.
ماشي دابا.
ما دابا ما عرفش.
ماشي مشكل.
هذا امريكان نص قهوة معرسة. ما عرفش دابا.
كل شيء كاين.
كل شيء كاين. عرف. الله يعطيك شكرا بزاف. هذا غراني تاع معلم هشام خويا هشام. اوكي. مزيان. الحمد لله. الله لاباس عليك. الحمد لله. اوكي. سمعت. ها انت شوف هشام ومصطفى اوكي كيعرفوا كيفاش كنبري القهوة ديالي ديما all the time they always know. مرحبا. Yes, them too. Yes. كل شيء. كل شيء. والكل شيء الناس عرفتوا كل شيء ناس. The brigade. هما بريغاد.
مرحبا بك اخويا تيري.
شكرا بزاف.
طريق مرحبا.
Okay. Great. Okay.
تيري من تبغي قهوة قولها لي صافي
Safi.
يلا
Okay. He speaks so fast, but this is where I learned it. Yes, good. Yes. Yes. You want American? You want Americano or nos Snubriti? Snubriti? Okay. Okay. Africa. Jus Americana. Jus Americana. You want sugar?
No.
Okay. Okay. Bejus bila suka. Yes. Yeah. It's melon. The English. Yeah.
London.
هاي القهوة
Oh, he wants to show us. He wants to show us. Look at this. Oh yeah, look at that.
مرحبا مرحبا طارق هاي
This is the magic being made. This is the magic being made, guys. This is how they do it right here. Oh, Lindor. Shukran bazaf. Shukran bazaf. Making all the noise. They're grinding the coffee beans. They're putting it in here. Ooh, what do I get to do? How about this?
مرحبا
Shukran bazaf.
هاي أمريكان ديالي
That American deal? Okay. So they're making the American, the American coffee. You're gonna get it with a tas. Yeah? Tas, which is a taller cup with a handle. This is pretty much the only way you're ever gonna drink a hot beverage in Morocco with a handle, unless you ask for it specifically. So, Americana, this is how it's gonna work out. All right. But it looks like we're gonna wait on our coffees and then we will head out to the chair and we will, we're gonna sit in one chair. We're gonna head out to the table and we're gonna talk a little bit more about how to order coffee while you're visiting Morocco.
Café milk mike.
Cafe milk milk.
Milk mike.
في هيفت. هيفت.
Ah oui.
All right.
Café américain.
Café American.
Nadi.
ناضي. ديما ناضي.
صراحة مسيو. شكرا. شكرا جزيلا.
الله يعطيك الصحة.
Salam alaikum. Alaikum salam. I don't want to do your own.
No, you're not the only person that does that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's great. I love it. You know, I love it when someone else just steps in the video and they're in the video and they do that. I like it. Yeah. All right, guys. Okay. This is where I like do take 5, 6, 7, and 8. Yeah.
Hello everybody and welcome to this video where we will be talking about how you can communicate in Morocco in a coffee shop. Over to you, Terry.
And this is Gary Sullivan finally doing something unscripted. Now, if you want to see, Gary's a good friend of mine. He's from the UK. He has 2 YouTube channels. One is the channel by his own name, which is Gary Sullivan. Dives into a lot of social commentary, mostly comparisons between Morocco and the UK. I highly encourage it. I find that the information is very accurate. He does a lot of work on that. And for those of you looking to learn English, he also has a channel called Past Tense of Banana. Very interesting channel. You're going to get a lot of insight on some confusing, quirky things about English, and it's well explained by someone from the motherland of the English language. So, welcome. Thank you for hanging out with me.
Thank you for allowing me to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as promised, this video is going to be about how to order a coffee here while you are visiting Morocco. There's different types of coffee that you can get. You're going to get, first of all, like what we have here, is the Americana. Now, what this is called tas. This is called a kes. This is called a tas. Now, tas is basically a cup with a handle. And about the only time you're going to be served a hot beverage in a cup with a handle is when you order a coffee Americana. So you can get a coffee Americana. You can get a kahwa, which is a kahwa kesha, which is a strong coffee, which it's an espresso. You can get an espresso that's weak. You could say kahwa khafifa, which means a weak coffee. Kahwa kesha is strong coffee. Kahwa khafifa is a weaker coffee. And then you can get, of course, noir, which means just a black coffee. And like pretty much what I have here. So it's a black coffee. If you don't want sugar in your coffee, you can say bla sukar. Bla, b means with, la means no, and obviously sukar means sugar, with no sugar. Bla sukar means with no sugar. And of course, never forget to include the word afik, which means please. You can get basically a hot chocolate, which is halib bi chocolat. Halib bi chocolat, which basically it's steamed milk with chocolate in it. It's just It's a beautiful creamy cup of hot chocolate, and yeah, you can't go wrong with that. It's pretty good. What else can we get here as far as, oh, nus nus. Now, nus nus is a very good cup of coffee for those of you who kind of like it a little bit on the candy side, a little sweet. It's basically what it is it's half milk, half coffee. And it's gonna have a nice little foam head on the top of it. And it's just a really good cup of coffee. It was one of my first coffees that I got when I would come here. It's what I would get all the time was kahwa nus nus. Kahwa nus nus. And then there's another one called kahwa mharsa. Now, kahwa mharsa is basically the same thing as kahwa nus nus, except it's a little bit more coffee and a little bit less milk. So then you can also, if you don't want to come for coffee, but you'd rather have tea, you can say koya or kati, because either one of those are perfectly acceptable terms for addressing your server, which means brother or sister. You can say afik, jiblia, bread atai. Bread atai. Now, bread is basically the pot that the tea's served in. And bered means cold. So in this context, bread rather means cooler. So when they make this tea and it's nice and hot, they put it in here and they allow it to kind of naturally cool as it's being served from this. So it cools down a little bit. But anyways, that's why that's called bread, is because it's basically a cooler. I know that sounds kind of ironic and backwards, but it allows the tea to cool naturally while it's being served in ceremonies, or even here at the dinner table or a coffee shop or anything like that.
And something they do as well, and they'll pour the tea out, won't they?
Yes.
And then they'll open the teapot and pour the tea back in.
Yes.
And that's another way of kind of cooling it and mixing
Yeah, and
it
aerating it.
sugar.
Does a lot for the flavors and things like that. Also, when it comes to tea, if you don't want sugar in your tea, make sure that you say bila sukar afek, no sugar please, because it will naturally come with sugar. And it's really good, but if you're someone who's cutting
Very sweet.
Very sweet if you're trying to cut down
a lot
on
of sugar in it.
Yes, if you are diabetic or you're just trying to cut down on your sugar intake, you definitely want to make sure that you tell them no sugar. And that's it goes with everything. With the coffee, you're going to get that sugar on the side. So what else do we have?
I mean, you get things like jus d'orange, orange juice, apple juice, things like that.
Okay, yeah.
You can get those.
Yeah, you can also get juices here. So yeah, I completely forgot about that. Now, the typical cost for a cup of coffee, like I'm in Rabat, so I'm going to speak for Rabat and pretty much the bigger cities.
Motorbikes. You always get motorbikes when you're filming in Morocco.
Or yeah, they're everywhere.
Yep.
But that's all right. Part of the culture, and we chose to be here. So, where was I?
You were talking about the cost.
Yes, the cost. So in the bigger cities, you're going to see anywhere from the extreme low of about 6 dirham for a cup of coffee, which will be one of these little hole-in-the-wall places you can get a coffee to go. And it's just a quick and dirty cup of coffee. It's going to cost you 6 dirham, and it's really not bad. It's not a bad cup of coffee at all. Or you can be on the high end of it, which is going to cost you about 14 dirham, but that's going to be like in the more expensive parts of a big city, or really out in the
sticks.
And the sticks in the what's the word I'm looking for? Rural areas of. The rural areas of the country, but your typical average is going to be between 9 and 12 dirham. So yeah, that's kind of give you an idea what to expect with the cost of this, with the cost of coffee.
Well, I suppose maybe talking about tipping as well, because that kind of like adds to the whole thing, doesn't it? Like,
yeah,
how you tip and what have you.
So and from I can't speak for people from England. Do you guys tip over there?
We don't, and in fact, in some ways, it's actually seen as an insult. I know it's completely different from the US, but we see tipping as like, you don't earn enough money, so we're
oh, it's like mesquite, like you poor thing. Here's your some extra money. Yeah,
yeah.
I never thought of it that way. That is amazing. Wow. Okay, so in America, you're kind of a garbage person if you don't tip.
Yeah.
So if you're coming from America, give them about 2 or 3 dirham if you're having 1 cup of coffee. Like for this right here, I would easily give a 5 dirham tip, simply because 5 dirham is not that much, and it helps them go. It goes a long way for the server. So about 2 to 3 dirham if you're by yourself. I would go probably 2 dirham a person, up to about 6 dirham, and then after that I wouldn't really, you know, 5 dirham really, I would say about 5 dirham is about the max, and they're going to be completely happy with it. Moroccans, I don't think really, they don't tip. So if you're coming from a culture where tipping is not something that you do, don't sweat it. They don't expect it, not like in America. But if you're from America and you feel compelled to tip, yeah, absolutely do that, because it's going to help. And but if you don't want to, what are they going to do?
Yeah, it's not seen as a bad thing. Just like in the UK, it's not seen as a bad thing. So even the British, I think, would tip here.
Yeah.
And typically for me, what I do, if the coffee costs about 7-8 dirham, you just round it up to 10 dirham.
Round it to the nearest 10 or 5.
Something like that. Yeah,
depends on what it is.
Just round it up. I mean, often you don't even know the cost of the coffee because you just automatically include the tip. I mean, I feel very confident just giving 15 dirham, 10 dirham, depending on the type of coffee place it is. And you don't exactly know how much the coffee costs, but you know with the tip, if it's a a less salubrious cafe, it's going to be 10 dirham. If it's a little bit more salubrious, you just give them 15.
Salubrious. This is why you want to watch past tense of banana. You get things like that.
Salubrious.
I didn't even know that was a word. America. But that actually brings me to my next point. When you don't know how much something is, you want to know how much you owe. You can just simply call over your server or go to the counter and you can say Hoya or Kati, and you can say Shahalandi, which means how much do I owe? Shahalandi. And they're gonna tell you how much you cost. So there's some quick tips. I know this is kind of a quick down and dirty little bit of a video about what to say, how to say it. So here's a recap. You can get, for the types of coffee, you can get Americana, you can get Noir, which is black, you can get Nus Nus, which is half milk, half coffee, Kahwa Mharsa, Kahwa Mharsa, which is a little bit more coffee and a little bit less milk. And then you can get Kahwa Kesha, which is strong coffee, which is an espresso. And then you can get Kahwa Kafifa, which is going to be, I think, an espresso, but it's not quite as strong. And then you have Ate, and you can get Ate Banana, which is tea with mint. And if you don't want sugar in anything that you are drinking, you can say Bila Sukar Afik. Bila Sukar Afik. Halib Bishokolat. Halib Bishokolat. That's basically a steamed milk with chocolate. It's a nice cup of hot chocolate. So yeah, I think we've covered the basics. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope you found it helpful. And if you want to know some more basic Darija phrases that are going to help you out a whole lot, I posted a video not too long ago. You can go check that out where I explain a whole lot more about what to say and how to say it and the different scenarios in which you would say them. All right, guys. Gary, thanks a lot. I really appreciate your help and throwing some things in there to jog my memory.
Yep,
go check out the links below for his channel. And yeah, that's it. Ana kumbrikum bezef, guys. Inshallah. And shukrum samana jaya.